Hello everybody, welcome back to the Layup Lounge. My name is Roman, and today I'm here to talk about the Portland Trailblazers because for one, I'm trying to test out this new equipment right here. Number two, it's been a while. Number three, they've had an eventful offseason. You know, going into the draft, we came in with the 11th pick. We then traded for the 16th pick and a 2028 Orlando first, and we select Hansen Yang. I don't know what order it is. But we draft him, and, you know, one of my first thoughts was, why are we drafting another center? We just picked up Donovan Clingan with the 7th pick last year. We have DeAndre Ayton on the roster. We have Robert Williams on the roster. Jeremy Grant's still on this team. Why are we picking up more bigs? We then dropped DeAndre Ayton, rightfully so. You know, obviously nobody wanted him on that contract. You know, with the motor. He had a motor issue, so I'm glad that he's not on this team anymore. Moving forward, flash forward, Damian Lillard gets released for Miles Turner pretty much, and my first thoughts on that were, is Damian Lillard going to return to Portland? That was my very first thoughts when, you know, the release happened, because for one, he's going to be rehabbing, so he's going to be in the Portland area regardless. And two, he even said it himself way back when, the grass is not always greener. You know, he was embedded in Portland, in the community, that franchise, you know, just the city as a whole. And I think that, you know, that meant a lot to him. Obviously, there's questions going into, you know, this season, training camp, wherever that may be. For one, Scoot Henderson. I think that Scoot Henderson, this is a big year for him. I think he should start, especially no Dame. We trade Anthony Simons. I think that even though we have Jrue Holiday on the team, which is, again, I think that was a great pickup for us. Even though we have him on the team, I still feel like Scoot Henderson needs to be the one that starts. I think Jrue needs to come off the bench because we got another guy, Shane Sharp, and I think he has the highest ceiling on this basketball team. I think he has all-star, superstar potential. We've seen the flashes, but it's going to come down to, can he put that together? And I think that this year is very important for him. But, you know, Scoot Henderson, again, going into year 3, you know, we traded Damian Lillard and then we brought him back for you, pretty much. So how is he going to respond to that, knowing that Damian Lillard is coming next season? Because I think that if he doesn't produce the way we all expect him to, we might be looking elsewhere in terms of Scoot Henderson in his future. Denny Avdia, I think that it's a big year for him as well. He, in my opinion, he was our best player last season. Obviously a very, very big rough patch in the beginning of the season, but, you know, once that calendar year turned around, I think that he became our best player on the team. His shot got better. He's a willing driver. He'll move the ball. I think that he's a good basketball player, and I think that he is someone, I think he's a core piece. I think Denny Avdia is a core piece, unless obviously someone like Giannis, you know, someone on that stature becomes available. I think that Denny Avdia is here to stay. Toumani Camara, which is, he's a phenomenal player, second team all defense. I think that we have those expectations of him being on the first or second team moving forward with his NBA career. It's going to come down to, can he hit open shots? You know, the drive kickouts. Can he be that spot up shooter that this basketball team needs? Because there's not a lot of shooting on this team. Shane Sharp's shot looks good, but he was a 32% 3-point shooter. So I think that, you know, that's not going to hold up. We need shooters on the team, and I think Toumani Camara is more than capable of being a 35+% 3-point shooter. So really looking forward to seeing what he has, you know, going into this next year, because we all see the workout videos of all NBA players, but one thing that separates him from a lot of players that I've seen is he's working on things that he's actually going to do in a game. I saw a video of Jared Vanderbilt coming off a pick and roll, holding that guard down. No, work on stuff that you're going to work on, or what you're going to do in the basketball game. But he's working on those things. I think if he can become a liable shooter, you know, drive to the basket, I think that he's going to be, he has potential to be maybe an all-star one day. Donovan Clingan, another guy that needs, and I think will have a big year. I don't know how he feels about them drafting a center, about the team drafting another center, and we'll get to him in a little bit, but I think that he has to have a big year, because he couldn't stay on the floor last year, whether that was him fouling a bunch, whether that's just a conditioning issue, offensive liability. I think those things are things that I hope that he was working on this summer. And I think that it's very crucial for him going into this next season to prove that he can be a starting caliber center in this league and, the future center of this franchise. He shot it okay. He had some flashes again where defensive master classes in there, but he couldn't stay on the floor for those he couldn't stay on the floor for those 3 reasons I mentioned earlier. If we clean that up a little bit, I think that, he'll be the clear-cut starting center going forward. Yang Hansen, I think, has a higher ceiling than Donovan Clingan. He can match his defensive intensity just based off the film, based off me being at Summer League in person, seeing his game, evaluating what he does on the basketball court. I think that he has the chance to be that guy defensively, but I think what separates him and Donovan Clingan is offensively. He can space the floor. He can pass the hell out of the ball. He can drive to the basket. Like he's a willing passer. Like I think his game is going to benefit everybody around him. I think that his plus minus numbers are going to be really good. He might qualify for one of the best in the leagues, depending on how many minutes he gets. But he's going to be a special player. And then we see the new ownership. Professional hockey team owner Tom Dunson, I believe. He has bought the Portland Trailblazers. I've researched him a little bit, and he has been known to try to turn a team around. They've been a consistent playoff team, and as we all know, the Portland Trailblazers have not been that team in quite some time. So we're looking to get there. Hopefully he gets aggressive with, good players that are available, but not too aggressive to the point where we're, Matt Ishbia's situation with the Phoenix Suns, right? So hopefully, I feel like we can go only up from here. Jody Allen, the Allen family were, solid owners, but at the end of the day, they weren't making the right moves, hence the Damian Lillard trade request and the eventual trade. Hence, when he was with us and we couldn't, get a star, we weren't, going after a star after overachieving for a couple of years. I think that hurt us, and the ownership were blinded by that. But hopefully this owner is not blinded by, short-term success, and we're going to be able to, go get a star in the future, making maybe Denny. Again, like I said, he might be expendable. Scoot might be expendable. But, my thoughts on this Portland Trailblazer offseason, I would give it a B+, considering, the history of our free agency throughout these years. I think one of the greatest offseasons for the Portland Trailblazers in recent years. No, we didn't add anybody, we didn't add a bunch of people, but we added Mr. Portland himself, Damian Lillard. We added the franchise GOAT back. Although he's not going to be playing this year, 2026, 2027, it's going to be a movie. It's going to be a movie. Drew Holiday was a sneaky pickup. I know the contract looks a little nasty, but I think that was a good pickup. Scoot Henderson, year 3, big things are expected from Scoot. And Shane Sharp, again, high ceiling on the team, extension year, I'm pretty sure. So we got to watch out for that and see if he's deserving of that contract moving forward. And then Chauncey Billups. I actually love the additions coaching-wise. I know that the previous regime, wasn't really helping Chauncey out that much. And I think it's great to have new guys around who, they've been in the league for a long time as assistants, as players, etc., player development. And I think that is exciting. I think Portland has a lot to be excited about. I'm looking forward to, what this team does, because I think this team can make the play-in. I'm going to say play-in. I was going to say playoffs. I'm going to go ahead and say play-in for now. Our ceiling is 40 games. We'll see how that holds up in the Western Conference. We've been tanking for a very long time, and I think it's time that we start striving towards winning habits and a winning culture. Portland Trailblazers, they get a B+ from me. I think we picked the direction. I think we want to win this time. The tanking should be done. Yes, there's going to be good players coming through the draft year in and year out, but at the end of the day, there has to be a point where we stop tanking and we actually start building something, a winning culture again, because I know for all the Blazer fans out there, I know they want to feel how we felt in 2019 on that magical run. Yeah, Portland Trailblazers, great offseason. It's going to come down to, all the pressure's on coaching. It's on Chauncey. It's also on Joe Cronin. Again, new ownership. He's not tied to these guys anymore. He's not tied to anybody in the organization, quite frankly. Obviously, I expect him to keep Damian Lillard for how long he can, but I think that new ownership and having that ownership kind of have a little bit of pressure on the coaching staff and the front office, I think that's good for this basketball team, and hopefully we are headed in a great direction. I think we are. It's been a positive, one of the most positive off seasons we have in a while, and really looking forward to the season. Looking forward to the pod. You're listening to the Layup Lounge. My name is Roman. Shout out to my dog Wayne, other co-host and founder of the Layup Lounge. Volume 3 is on the way. Go check out our past videos. Kind of get a look at what we do here in the LL. As you see, I'm testing out new gear right now. This year, we've been saying guests, but guests is really happening this year. Like, subscribe, share. Shout out to Portland. Shout out PDX. I'm out.